Have you ever stayed in an Airbnb? The house was in order, the host was friendly and polite, you enjoyed the experience and you are ready to repeat it in the future. Perfect. All that is left is for you to leave a rating and you give it 4 stars. Why? Why did you leave 4 stars instead of 5? In your review you mentioned that everything was perfect, you found no flaws and you are even happy to come back. Okay, if you did this, you likely don't know how Airbnb works for us hosts. With this video I hope to raise awareness about something that changed very little for you if you had a positive experience, but for us hosts is crucial. The Airbnb algorithm is secret, but the general idea on the web is based on some fundamental principles that help your property receive more reservations. Among these fundamental principles are the quality of the images, detailed descriptions, competitive pricing, prompt response, positive review, and the title of Superhost. These are the most important factors and there are probably other of which we are not aware. As a frequent Airbnb user when I travel, I too mainly rely on the cover photo, which is the first image I see, the rating and the price. The title of Superhost, in my opinion, based on the data I've gathered from my property listing over the years, is the fundamental factor. Let's start by clarifying the definition of a superhost on Airbnb. A superhost is an ordinary host who has distinguished themselves by achieving high-quality standards through dedication and providing high-quality stay experience to their guests. Superhosts are owners or managers of apartments with extensive experience, becoming a reference point for both other hosts and guests. Guests can have confidence, or nearly so, in dealing with a reliable and serious host who offer a well-established and widely appreciated service. A host who achieves Superhost status receives a special badge from Airbnb visible next to their profile picture. Also worth noting is that the strength of a Superhost is closely tied to the apartment they manage. The rating given by the guest across all their properties determine the maintenance or the revocation of this prestigious recognition. Now that it's clear what it means to be a Superhost, let's understand what it takes to earn this title and whether a host can have direct control over action that causes reaction. First, it's necessary to have a cancellation rate of less than 1%, which is the factor over which the host has no control. Personally, I don't understand how a host can know that a guest is thinking of cancelling to potentially change their mind. Second, one must have completed at less 10 bookings or 100 nights divided into 3 reservations. In this case, the host based on their skill may or may not receive bookings, so this is a factor where they have control. Third, a response rate of 90% is required, and here the host has control over their action. If they don't respond to customer, Airbnb has a good reason to take action. The fourth and the final step is the average rating, and on this point I have some objections. Airbnb requires an average of above 4.8 stars. This is an average that can be easily achieved if you have a small property to rent and a few reviews. However, when you start to have 4, 5 or 10 properties with hundreds of reservations each year, it becomes increasingly impossible. In my case, on my main profile I have all positive reviews, even the ones that are verbally the best, where guests might compliment you, have 4 stars. Of course, these ratings are not given with the intention of lowering your ranking, but these 4 stars bring down my account, removing the Superhost title, and I am not longer featuring among the top in the list. Espresso coffee, what else? I interrupt you for a few seconds from the video you are watching, not to talk to you about coffee, but about the country where you can drink a good one. Italy. So if you want to discover the advantages of living the dolce vita in the bel paese and understand the process of buying a house in Italy, you should consider buying this guide we wrote, available on Amazon for less than 24 bucks. Many people have decided that 2024 will be the year of their change. Will you be one of them? As a host, I know what happens if you leave a 4-star rating, and as a guest, I've rented a house and had a good experience. I try to avoid it. I always leave 5 stars. So the message is, if you have been a guest and everything went well, leave 5 stars. Even if the 4 stars are positive, they can cause damage. Afterward, in the case the experience wasn't perfect, it's fair to give a low rating, indicating what happened. in the review you will write. Here too, it's not guaranteed that the guest will provide a reason if they leave 1, 2 or 3 stars. Personally, I think this is something where Airbnb should directly intervene. Perhaps, in my opinion, they could give a different ranking based on the number of properties and the number of reservations that the host has. A 4.8 might be acceptable for someone who rents their grandmother's house as a hobby, having 2 or 3 monthly bookings. Maybe for hosts with 2 or 3 properties and dozens of monthly reservations, a 4.0 could be considered as the ranking to qualify for the Superhost title. It's also worth adding that we are all different in the world, and you might find that one person of 100 doesn't like red blankets and leave you a negative review. That is why I say, since not everyone may appreciate the service we offer, based on larger numbers, it's better to lower the score. If you are also an Airbnb host, share your thoughts on this matter. Let's see if you agree with me or if you find this criteria fair. And if you are a guest who uses or has used this platform in the past, let me know if you were aware of all this and if maybe this video has changed your approach to writing review in the future. See you soon!